What is going on, Outlaws? Michael or Legacy Killer HD here, and today we are once again discussing Red Dead Redemption 2. And we'll be taking a look at 7 of the biggest story questions coming from Red Dead Redemption and how it could be having an impact on Red Dead Redemption 2. But as usual, Outlaws, if you missed any of the past Red Dead videos, make sure you check out the link in the description of the playlist. A lot of news, information, and theories about this upcoming game that you're not going to want to miss, so make sure you guys give that a look. But nonetheless, let's start here at the number 7 spot with the Indian Wars that were teased within Red Dead Redemption. Other than the fact that we hear about the Native Americans being referred to as savages throughout the whole game, there are some other interesting mentions that may be hinting to the fact that Native Americans could be playing a huge role within Red Dead Redemption 2. And the first of which actually comes from the debut trailer of Red Dead Redemption, where Drew McFarlane talks about fighting the Native Americans 10 years ago.
Came here from the east. For 10 years we fought the Indians. Tough men.
And also, during the first mission of Red Dead Redemption, there's a mention from Jake about the US Army who were stationed at Fort Mercer moving up north to battle Native Americans.
Well, I ain't entirely sure. I heard they had to go up north to fight Indians.
Now, what this information confirms is that there was a Native American conflict going on in the Red Dead universe before the events of Red Dead Redemption. And with Red Dead Redemption 2 more than likely being a prequel, we can only assume that we'll be seeing some bit of this conflict. Now, the question that really comes from all of this is how big of a role will it be taking place in the game? Could it be the major conflict alike to the Mexican Revolution that was going on within Red Dead Redemption? And if that is the case, how will our character take part in all of this? Will they be defending the Native Americans from the US Army, or could it be vice versa? Either way, I think that Rockstar Games has a lot of freedom to make an amazing story featuring the Native Americans. Now to the number 6 spot, we have Seth Briers and him being normal. This may be a surprising fact to a lot of Red Dead fans, but Seth Briers at one point was not a crazy madman. He owned his own business, he had a wife, he had children, but he ended up going mad over wealth, and he lost everything. That's why I think it'd be very interesting if Rockstar Games featured a scene of Seth Briers owning his business, and maybe we walk in and see a normal Seth. And I think that'd blow the minds of a lot of Red Dead fans, and I think it'd be a very cool thing that Rockstar Games could do. So Outlaws, do you think we could be seeing a normal Seth? But now to the number 5 spot, we have John Marston's daughter and what exactly happened to her. We only know of a brief history about John Marston's daughter, and it was a statement that he made to Bonnie McFarlane.
I had a daughter, but she died.
So if this next Red Dead title does take place just a few years before the events of Red Dead Redemption, and somehow we do get to see how John Marston ended up almost dying in the failed bank robbery of 1906, we may see Abigail Marston maybe pregnant with his daughter, and maybe find out exactly what happened. Because this is a very interesting mystery. We don't know much about it. Could have been an illness, or it could be something much more, but John Marston really did not like to talk about it, and I only can assume that we may get some answers for that in the next Red Dead title. Now to the number 4 spot, we have what is the cause of the Blackwater Massacre. This event took place in 1899 and involved outlaws and lawmen battling in the town. It's said that 37 men were killed, including 22 outlaws and 15 members of the Blackwater Police Department. And one of those is rumored to be Cole McFarlane, one of Bonnie McFarlane's late brothers, because it's said that Cole McFarlane died in 1899 from a bullet wound in the head, which likely could mean that he was involved in the massacre, maybe serving as one of the criminals. But one of the few survivors that came out of that was Landon Ricketts, and he was said to be serving as a vigilante or lawman. But there's a lot of mystery about what exactly happened and why these outlaws were battling against these lawmen, and maybe figuring out the cause could be a big detail within Red Dead Redemption 2. And at the number 3 spot, we have who is the strange man. And I have to admit that this side character was involved in one of the weirdest side quests I've ever been a part of. This strange man apparently knew everything about John Marston. He knew about the failed robbery of 1906, and even personal details about John Marston, such as him being an orphan. And through the strange man questline, it's clear that he puts John Marston on moral errands, which it almost seems like he's toying around with John Marston, trying to figure out if he'll do good or bad. And by the end of this questline, John Marston ends up trying to kill him, and the bullets go right through the guy. And what's even more interesting is during this last cutscene, the strange man predicts where John Marston's gravesite will be.
Tell me your name or I won't be responsible for my actions.
Oh, but you will. You will be responsible.
This is a fine spot. See you around, cowboy. Damn you!
Yes, many have.
Now with all of that, we can assume that this strange man could be God or even Satan. But what makes this even more interesting is that Rockstar Games was asked this in a gaming article years ago, and Rockstar Games said that they could not comment on this, which is very interesting. It makes you think that he could be appearing in Red Dead Redemption 2, and if we have a new character, maybe he pops in and presents moral challenges to our new character, and maybe just then we get some confirmation on who he is. And to the number 2 spot, we have the wreck of the Serendipity and the connection to the failed robbery of 1906. There's a very interesting statement that came from the strange man about the failed robbery of 1906.
Are you? Do you remember Hattie McCourt's face?
Who?
She was a girl Dutch Vanderlyn shot in the head on that raid on the ferry a few years back. Same one you got shot on.
Now, based on that statement, we can assume that this robbery did not take place on a bank, but a ferry. And Dutch's gang operated in the West Elizabeth area, where they committed all of their robberies and crimes, and it looks to be that there's only one clear place where it could have taken place, and that is Flatiron Lake. Based on that leaked Red Dead Redemption 2 map, we saw that the wreck of the Serendipity does not appear on this map, so it has not happened yet. So what this tells me is that the wreck of the Serendipity may actually be the ferry that John Marston was left for death. And as I stated in the past, this could mean that our new character could come in and maybe possibly save John Marston's life and lead him on his way out of the gang. Now, to the number 1 spot is Jack Marston narrating the Red Dead Redemption series. After the Red Dead Redemption 2 trailer came out, a lot of people started theorizing about the one comment that's made within the trailer, and that's when the time comes you gotta run and don't look back, this is over. Some people have been saying that this could be Jack Marston at an older age, and there is some interesting evidence that backs this up, and it's one of the final scenes between John and Jack, and it's them discussing Jack writing a book.
You can even put it in one of them books you read.
Yeah, maybe I'll do that. Today, John Marston stopped shooting.
Now, I ain't no literary man, but I don't think that'll sell. People like shooting in them things.
I think you may be right there, Paul.
And the other evidence that I have is coming from Grand Theft Auto 5 in Franklin's house, and there's a book called Red Dead written by J. Marston, and this may be just an Easter egg or it could be something much more, hinting to the fact that Jack Marston's telling the story of the Red Dead Redemption and Red Dead Redemption 2. But anyway, Outlaws, let me know what you think in the comment section below. What detail from Red Dead Redemption do you think we should be paying attention to the most in terms of the plot for Red Dead Redemption 2? But anyway, Outlaws, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to smack that like button if you did enjoy the video or found any informative value. If you haven't already, make sure to go over to my second channel and subscribe. I got the episode 1 of Red Dead Redemption's walkthrough. It's just the introduction, about a 25-minute video, not much commentary. I just kind of introduce you guys to the series, so make sure to go over there and check that out. Let's try to get about 25 to 50 likes, that'd be pretty cool, and I'll try to get the episode 2 maybe up by the next day after. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe for a lot more additional Red Dead Redemption 2 content on this channel, and remember, Outlaws to the end.